Well, thanks for coming. As you have been reporting, and there is a concern, and rightfully so, in the community about certain violent activity that's been occurring over the last few weeks. And we're here today to talk about that specifically. Probably next week or soon thereafter, we'll be rolling out a general safety plan for the entire city of Cleveland. And before the end of this month, we will be addressing the incident on November 29th and having some finality to that. But today, we're here specifically to talk about violent activity around, particularly with men against women. And as you know, there are also been some homicides with children. Now, we want the public to know, and the citizens of Cleveland to know, that we take this serious, and particularly when it comes to women and children being the victim of violent crimes. And we are addressing it, and we're going to continue to address it. But there are some facts and details that you should know that may help to allay some fears in the community, but also bring some accuracy to some of the conversations that may be occurring in the community. Okay? So again, today we're focusing specifically on the violent crimes and over the last few weeks, but we will be rolling out a general police safety strategy pretty soon, and we'll be addressing the November 29th incident before the end of the month. Okay? All right, Chief.
Thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. Like the mayor says, we're here because whenever a tragedy takes place in the city, our main concern are the people, the women, the children, everyone. And we take every tragedy is as important as the next, and we don't like to see them happen. When they do happen, that's where we direct our resources to try to resolve them and bring some closure to the victims and their families. We take every one of them very seriously. Today we're here to address a couple questions surrounding the specific incidents occurring recently in the 4th District. 2 of these incidents involve homicide investigations, and the third is a kidnapping gross sexual imposition case. Because of these incidents and how close they are to each other in the 4th District, we have deployed our Violence Response Task Force, which consists of members of the Cleveland Division of Police, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Office, the Adult Parole Authority, and the Cuyahoga Metropolitan Housing Authority. This is a task force that we put together approximately 4 years ago to address these type of incidents where there may be a connection, may not be a connection in a certain area. Not only do they address homicides or sexual assaults, we've deployed them during Amber Alerts, we've deployed them during robberies where we had a group of gentlemen in Maple Heights, Cleveland, and in Euclid robbing stores. So they're quite effective at what they do and when we bring them in. At this time, the Cleveland Division of Police does not have any evidence to indicate that any of the 3 incidents are in fact related to one another, and those are the incidents I'm going to refer to here in the 4th District. Furthermore, we have identified separate persons of interest in 2 of the cases. Following is a synopsis of each case and the investigations as they stand today. Jasmine Trotter was a homicide on East 93rd Street. Ms. Trotter was reported missing on March 23rd, last seen leaving for work at about 5 a.m. on March 22nd, and found deceased in an abandoned house on March 24th by family members. Cause of death determined to be blunt force trauma and cervical compression. Victim was sexually assaulted and was found with her clothing partially removed. During the course of this investigation, we received DNA CODIS results from the medical examiner, which identified a possible suspect. And that suspect's name is Jerome Ogletree, was a black male, 42 years of age, he's 5'10", 270 pounds. The facts in this case were presented to a city prosecutor, and a warrant was issued for Mr. Ogletree. Mr. Ogletree was arrested on April 2nd, and is questioned in connection with this homicide, and he remains under arrest as a person of interest. Christine Malone, it's a homicide from the 9300 block of Bessemer. She was reported missing by family members on March 23rd. Last seen voluntarily entering a vehicle with a male unknown to the family at approximately 4:50 a.m. Her body was found on March 28th in a field near an abandoned home by a group of juveniles. Cause of death to be blunt force trauma and cervical compression. Victim was not sexually assaulted and was found fully clothed. Anyone with information relative to this particular case, we ask you to call our homicide unit or Crime Stoppers. You can call them or text them anonymously. And the third one we're looking at in this immediate area, or within a 3 square mile area, is a kidnapping, gross sexual imposition. The victim was attacked while walking to work at 5:30 a.m. on March 30th in the area of East 116th and Hardy Avenue. The suspect male grabs the victim and attempts to drag her behind an abandoned house. The attack is interrupted by passerbys in a blue Pontiac 4-door. These witnesses, who have yet to come forward, yell at and chase the suspect and then assist the victim home. Suspect is described as a black male, 6 foot to 6'2", thin build, dressed in a dark coat, dark work pants, and steel-toed boots. Tips and leads had led this investigators to question 2 individuals who are currently arrested on unrelated offenses pertaining to some warrants, etc. Witnesses are also encouraged to step forward to assist us in this investigation. And same thing, if they can call the Sex Crimes Unit, Homicide Unit, or Crime Stoppers, would be greatly appreciated. Again, it is very important, I would like to reiterate, that at this time, these 3 cases, which I've just touched on, appear to be unrelated with separate suspects. Members of the community are our eyes and ears out on the street, and anyone with information regarding these cases are asked once again to contact us or Crime Stoppers. And it's very important, and I'm repeating myself a little bit here, intentionally, very intentionally, is that we work for the people of this city. And when these things happen, I take it seriously, the mayor takes it seriously, and every officer within this division takes it seriously. When these happen in the commander's district, my zone, your zone, we do everything we can to solve these cases. But more importantly is, we don't want them to happen in the first place. We put forth a lot of effort to prevent these things, and when they do happen, we take it very, very personally. So, and we're only as good as the community allows us to be. And that includes the media, yourselves, includes the churches, it's the people on the street. And I know from my experience, and it's in excess of 40 years, that when something bad happens, 95% of the time somebody knows. And all we're asking is for a little help on these cases or any other homicide or tragic case that takes place in this city. Just give us a call, Crime Stoppers anonymously, and I promise you, we'll give 110% to resolve these issues. And I'll open up to any questions you may have currently.